Hi, I'm Amy Bateman, startup founder, but also making videos to help other founders feel seen, heard, and valued during that crazy journey that is startup scale-up life. Now, one piece of advice that I was given when I founded my startup was to celebrate the wins. Yeah, that's obvious, but to celebrate the really small wins. And you may have heard of this as well, because it's quite a common piece of advice. But I want to make a video about it because for me, I actually found that really uncomfortable. Celebrating the small wins for me initially felt really weird. It kind of felt like I was setting myself up to achieve small goals, and I kind of felt a bit uncomfortable with it. But I started doing it and it made a massive impact, and that's what I want to talk about today. Now, obviously, we celebrated the first big win, which was our first investment round, and we celebrated that more than once. We celebrated that for an entire week. And we celebrated it really well. There was a lot of drinking, there was a lot of dancing, there was a lot of karaoke. I don't remember all of it, but I know that it was definitely one of the best weeks of my life. And then the excitement settled, and I realized the absolute magnitude of what it was that we had to achieve. And yeah, we got serious. But I really wish that somebody had said to me at that point, that win, that happy feeling, those wins, you're not going to feel those for a while. They're going to be few and far between, especially in the early days. It's different when you're working for a big corporate or an established business with historic clients and a good reputation. When you're starting something from absolute scratch and then you're scaling it, you're going to be failing at stuff. Monthly, weekly, daily, all the time. And that's good because it means you're testing things, you're learning things, you're validating things, and that's the right way to do it. In fact, that's the absolute only way to do it. But to keep yourself from going to bed at night feeling like a failure, because you're not doing enough, you're not being enough, you're not being quick enough. You need to go from here to here, in here, and you need to catch yourself. So in those early days, when those wins are really few and far between, you need to celebrate everything. So maybe your startup has moved from the 4th page of Google and it's now on the 3rd page of Google. You want to celebrate it. Now, one of the really early wins for us, I remember, was an inclusion in a newsletter. And it probably wasn't the best newsletter. It didn't have a massive audience, and I don't really think that our target audience were really reading it. But we didn't care, not initially. We were like, they saw us on YouTube, they reached out to us, they like what we're doing. They probably got more out of it than we did, to be honest, but we celebrated it anyway. So I will say that I had to definitely talk to myself to get myself into that mindset. So that didn't come naturally to me. I'm always pushing for more. That's not good enough, we want more. But that positivity, when I learned to do it, that loop, that positivity loop, when I felt gratitude, when I felt grateful, just fed more positivity. When I celebrated stuff, good things happen. So feeding that positivity loop was one of the best things that I did for my startup. So that said, you don't want to get too lost on celebrating the superficial stuff. I know I said celebrate everything, but I mean everything to do with growth, really, because you don't want to fall into that false sense of security, that complacency, that, oh no, we're fine. We don't need to push ourselves today, because you're still building, right? But you do need to find that balance for your own morale, for your team, for your investors, for your friends, for your family, for everybody that's impacted by you building this, everybody that's in the trenches, getting their hands dirty, helping you build this thing. So yeah, celebrate anything to do with growth, financial or operational. So maybe you've got a new team member, maybe your company got mentioned in an industry article, maybe you, and what we did a lot of was you had a really good focus group. You got loads of good feedback from a focus group. So we're founders, right? A lot of our friends are founders. We know how easy it is to get lost in our own heads. We get lost in here because this company, this was our idea, right? If it goes wrong, the investors are going to want to talk to us. We might have, like me, quit a very nice job to build this thing, taken massive risks, lost friendships, possibly lost relationships. We went all in. So I get it. I totally get it that we can get lost in here when we're worrying about things and, it's all about us, it's all about us, it's all about us. But it's not. It's not all about us. If we have that attitude, we're never going to build something beautiful. We're not going to build anything with real impact. So, we have to remember that the team around us, we've got to keep their morale up. It's our job as founders, to create an environment where they feel like they're part of something that's worth being part of. And that means celebrating the wins, even if deep down you sometimes feel like, oh, was that really a win? Do it. Do it for everyone else's sake. Do it for the greater good. Because it's really tough when you feel those bad days. And those bad days, my gosh, they are guaranteed. It's part of the gig. So that attitude of gratitude will really help you power through, and your team power through, and help you all give this a really good shot.